So I walk up to Reggie. I don't even know the guy. And I said, what is this, the minority table over here? And he's like, what? And I go, dude, you're not feeling this? I'm like,
he goes to you, is that a burn?
I'm like, clearly you're a black guy. I'm a Jew. We're surrounded by Italians. I'm like, there's a reason we're all at one table.
Hold on. At the wedding of Lord Cheese and Tia Santoro, the Italians were not minorities.
Yeah, for the girl who was conceived in the back of a van with a tire cover that was Tasmanian
with a Tasmanian devil. Yes. Of course, actually, we did make a mistake in saying Reggie was the only black guy because Tia and I are both Sicilian.
No.
And they respond by.
So
you saw that movie.
There was actually 3 black guys.
What was that
three
movie?
Black people.
What was that movie? True Romance.
True Romance.
Sicilians respond by. You saw that movie.
Yes.
Anyways.
Last story before we go to break.
Are we breaking again already?
Before we go to break, the Japanese audience, which has been huge supporters for us.
Arigato.
I just want to congratulate you, Japan, for the new citizen that you finally have in your country. You know, a creature that deserves full recognition as a hero to your country. A lizard, a giant radioactive lizard known as Godzilla. Godzilla, now officially a citizen of Japan.
He's got the key to the city. Or shitty.
Yes.
Or
they actually officially made Godzilla, as they would say in Japan, an official citizen.
The only Shittishin that can cross over the shitty wall.
Oh, shitty wall.
Yes.
We are going to hell in a handbasket. I do promise.
So congratulations to that. I mean, look, the guy's only bailed your asses out of how many attacks from other radioactive monsters?
Let's run down the list.
Mothra.
No,
Gamera.
It's Mothra. All right, see you, David.
Gamera. He did fight King Kong.
He fought King Kong. He fought Mecha Godzilla.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Mecha Godzilla. You know what? Mecha Godzilla stripped my mind.
Don't forget Raymond Burr.
Wait,
what?
Godzilla fought Raymond Burr? What, in the court case?
Yeah. No, that was... Wow.
That one's news to me. I guess Godzilla had like a suit and a tie in that one.
Good guy.
You know what? He probably pleaded the fifth in that one.
All right, it's time for commercial
break.
All right,
guys. All right, we're going to jump to a quick commercial break. All you Craniacs, when we get back, some hockey talk. You don't want to miss that. Stay with us.
First, there was 5-hour energy, and then there was 6. Now you can get a continuous 48 hours of energy because cardiac arrest is taking energy drinks to a whole new level.
Just one bottle has kept me up for days!
Cardiac arrest contains a formula that was once only available to Chinese military personnel.
You don't get that rundown feeling because you're never gonna come down!
Cardiac arrest is making dieting a thing of the past.
Don't worry about the calories because you're never gonna feel hungry!
Cardiac arrest is gonna get your motor running.
My bowels have been empty for weeks and I feel great!
Look for cardiac arrest energy drinks at a flea market or fireworks stand near you.
Were you injured in a car accident? Don't you worry. Don't call 911. Don't call a lawyer. At 1555 Gary Who, we see no need to involve the law. How you doing? I'm the one and only Paulie P. As soon as you get in a wreck, you call me on my cell, and I'll personally dispatch 2, shall we say, gentlemen to the scene to give the other party involved an offer they can't refuse. Whether it's a new car, money, it don't matter. We guarantee to get you just what you deserve. At 155 Gary Who, you forget about it. We work for you to get you what you deserve.
At 155 Gary Who, the client is subject to terms and conditions stated on the website and must share the names of immediate family members before service is rendered.
Hey, Harry Carey here. Just because I'm tore on the cob doesn't mean you shouldn't be tore on the Cranial Emission Show with Ben Charles, Miguel Hito, and the Reverend Joey T. And what's tore on the cob, you might ask? It's the king of beers, but it's the new king of beers, ESB Brewery.
Welcome back to the Cranial Emission Show, folks. Broadcasting here on the rotation between Ybor City and ESB, the Lions Den in Ybor City, but this week at ESB Brewing, located where, you ask? 333 North Falkenberg Road, Sweet D.
Ooh, Sweet D.
407. 9 different pints of beer to choose from behind the bar. Go and consult with the lovely Nicole to pour you a glass of one of ESB's finest. Not only do we have beer here tonight, but we also have some wonderfully cooked fajitas. Or as they say in Hispanic countries, fajitas. The J is silent.
Ben, just so you know, Curdy's here, so just be careful what you talk about now.
Oh, I have to censor myself now?
Yeah, she's here. Just warning.
If you want to be, I appreciate the warning. If you want to be a part of the show, you can call in by doing so at 813-438-6068.
Or just get at us on... oh, man. Ben, guess what?
What?
Guess what?
Do you have gas?
Nope.
What? That's a valid guess.
That is an absolutely valid guess.
No,
That's probably what I assumed,
This
too.
is not true.
What?
This is not true. Hold on
What?
a second. Hold on a second. I'm going to show you a little trick. No, you
What?
go ahead and do what you need to do. I'm just going to do something real quick.
What are you interrupting me for?
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. Anyway, Ben, Charles, Miguel, Hito, the Reverend Joey T, the Triumvirate, or Caleb Crispy, actually. Sorry. I'm used to old school. Yeah, the Triumvirate before you here. And, you know, while this show has been amusing to me, I was not amused Wednesday night. NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. You didn't even have Skype up, did you?
What?
You didn't even have Skype up. No, because now I'm hearing the Skype start up.
Now call us at 813-443. What's the number?
No, 438-6068. We apologize for the fact that Miggy sucks as an engineer.
Balls.
You know, he only had 45 minutes to pull Skype up. So
I
it
also
wasn't
was
a lot of
making
time.
fajitas. I was pouring beers.
Dude, those fajitas were made before we even got here.
That is not true. I just put that there right before you got here.
Oh, please.
With the salsa.
With the salsa.
Go grab me one of those fajitas.
You go grab you a fajita.
Why don't you make yourself...
My headphone and my mic won't reach.
Why don't you make yourself more useful than you were as an engineer and go make him a fajita?
I stop making fun of him.
Sancho, we know it's all your fault anyway.
My brother's coming here.
Yeah, we know Pancho is coming.
Pancho.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
Same thing, whatever.
Well, you want to talk to him now?
I don't know. All you guys look alike to me. I don't know. Anyway. So, you know what? I don't mean it to be racist, though, because some of my friends are Hispanic.
You want to talk to Pancho
I have
now?
an Hispanic friend.
Hold on. You want to talk to Pancho now?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
You can talk to him.
No, that's okay.
You know, AYNE, they're all Hispanic.
What's that?
Every one of us is Hispanic.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
Why?
Because they... Never mind.
Why you stereotype? You're like a policeman. You're like, oh, he's black. He must be causing problems.
It's not called profiling. It's called damn good police work.
No. Why?
The opinions expressed by Caleb Crispy do not necessarily reflect that of the Cranial Mission Show,
Yeah, they
but
do.
in this case they do. Anyway, so we were talking about Stanley Cup playoffs Wednesday night.
That was horrible.
Heart-wrenching. Lightning, game one, at home. Incredibly dominant in the first period.
Oh, yeah.
First of all,
energy was live.
ridiculous goal by Alex Killorn. That goes down as one of the all-time great goals that we've ever seen in Stanley Cup
One
history.
of the best deflections by far.
Dude, does anybody score greasier goals than Alex Killorn for the Lightning?
Yeah.
That wasn't greasy. That was almost precise. I mean, that
No,
was the
but-
most
but-
perfect deflection I've ever
But he
seen.
earned that by getting in front
Oh,
of the
yeah.
net, taking some hits.
Yep.
And that's what Killorn does. He scores some ugly goals. In this case, a gorgeous goal, but he scores them in very unlikely ways and very timely goals.
Unless he was in North Korea, then it's unlikely.
Exactly. So we start out with that. It's exciting. Ben Bishop playing phenomenally well. Defense playing great. They're dictating the tempo of the game. They're forechecking. They're playing in Chicago's defensive zone the entire first period. Getting to the second, halfway in, and all of a sudden the game changes. And immediately in my head, no, enough with the Hulk music. Seriously.
Ooh, sweet.
Immediately in my head, I'm channeling Torts. I'm channeling my coach Tortorella from back when we won the cup last. Because what was Torts saying back in the day? Torts
Safe
saying
as death.
was safe as death. And that's what we did.
They virtually set up a tee, and they took everyone off the field. And all right, they kept the outfield lined with a few folks, but they pretty much played the rest of the game in defensive mode.
They played on their heels. They played not to lose, and we all know that when you play that way, what happens? You lose.
You lose. And I said halfway through the second period, I was like, they're going to lose this game. Yeah.
And credit to Bishop. Chicago beat us 2-1, but Bishop, neither one of those goals were Bishop's fault. That Tara Vinen goal he didn't see. That second goal he didn't see either. He was screened on both of them. And Chicago, again, impressive in the sense that despite the salary cap, we talked last week about is there a dynasty in the NHL? Well, clearly, if Chicago wins this year, and hopefully they don't, but if they do, they're clearly a dynasty.
Yeah,
in
but what
today's
about
NHL.
Detroit's a dynasty, Montreal's a dynasty, New York has been a
But
dynasty.
this is the modern day.
All right,
and
I'll
the
give you
salary
that.
cap
I'll give you
era.
that.
And this team, they don't rebuild, they reload. They get rid of guys because of salary, and they draft well. Case in point, Timo Teravainen, rather,
Yeah.
who young guy and phenomenal player. You look at guys like him, like Brandon Saad. All these guys in Chicago are paying pennies on the dollar for that are delivering in the playoffs. Lightning hopefully have learned a lesson from this. They say that they have. Granted, an inexperienced team took the lead. Hopefully they don't let them off the hook the last time because that was a game the Lightning should have won.
You know what it seemed to me realistically is the moment they scored that goal, they took their thumb off of that jugular. You go for the jugular.
Well, not right after.
Well, all right, I'll give you. They were fighting for it, but they literally after the second period, they all took a deep breath.
Yeah.
You can't do that in the playoffs. You can't do that in the finals. For God's sakes, they let Chicago come back.
They did.
And when they scored the moment they scored that first goal, I knew it was over. I knew it was over because I knew the Lightning, when they have a habit of doing that and they back off, they will not come back. When their backs are against the wall, when they're, most of the time when their backs are against the wall, they'll fight back, but they put their backs against the wall and relax. So yeah.
While we're talking about teams that have been modern-day dynasties, the Penguins, very close to being a modern-day dynasty, at least a number of years ago. They've kind of planed off since, the salary cap affects teams. And when you've got two great players like an Evgeny Malkin and a Sidney Crosby and the amount of money that you're paying those two guys, it is hard to continue to maintain players around them as to maintain that depth. Mario Lemieux, who's one of the all-time great NHL legends, not only as a player, but as an owner, because first of all, he saved the Penguins when they drafted him in '82.
Right.
Made the Penguins relevant. Won 2 Stanley Cups with them. Arguably the second greatest scorer of all time, next to Wayne Gretzky. But then when that team was facing bankruptcy after he retired, put together his own money, helped bail this team out, bought this team, resurrected them, made them competitive again. Well, now Penguins owners, Lemieux and Burkle, are actually exploring a possible sale of the team. Now that they've resurrected them from bankruptcy, they're actually consulting with Morgan Stanley, and they're looking at selling them now.
The financial company, really?
Yeah, Morgan Stanley, who's the same Buffalo Sabres, actually collaborated with Morgan Stanley as well when they just sold their team.
Why?
Hey, man, sell him while he got the value in the team, right? I mean, you bought them low. They were in bankruptcy. You put your own money on the line. He's always going to be...
George Steinbrenner bought the Yankees at a nothing price.
I mean, look, Lemieux's always going to be an ambassador to the Penguins, whether he's an owner or not. He's still going to be omnipresent at those with that organization.
Or organization.
Or in Canada, as they'd say. Right. So even if he sells the team, I'm sure whoever buys them is going to hire him as some kind of consultant or president or whatever BS title they want to give the guy. So why not? I mean, look, you put your time in, you put your own money on the line, sell the team, make your money, cash out, and then do what you got to do. Be a figurehead. So I don't have a problem with it, but Penguins fans are certainly concerned right now.
As well, they should be. I mean, having Mario at the helm has been probably one of the greatest things that the Penguins organization has ever seen. You've got the championships really kind of started flowing back in under his regime.
Right. Yeah, you rebuilt them.
Maybe he hurt his back again. He has to be lifted over the board. I don't know. Just me.
Wow.
What? What? He had a bad back. I don't know. And he got cancer. Anyways.
Really?
Well, if we're going to talk about a sport that's got a broken back right now, look no further than FIFA.
Yeah.
Last week we talked about FIFA and the scandal, all the executives that have been arrested, and we talked last Friday. At the time, that was the day of the election when Sepp Blatter was reelected again for what was it, the 4th or 5th time? Like you said, he's been in charge for like 40 years or something. This incredible history of corruption, of bribes. I mean, the fact that Qatar has a World Cup is indicative of that.
Qatar.
Yeah.
Well, Sepp Blatter wins that election. We commented about that. Since then, he stepped down.
Yeah. What was this? It was like Monday, wasn't it? I think it was.
Yeah, it was just after the show.
It was like
it
was like he won the election and said, "Yeah, see, I told you I could. See ya."
But you know what? I mean, you heard what happened though.
What happened though?
what had happened was,
What had happened was,
as my one black friend says, what the cranial